giving all shy. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. Sooner than soon. All right. Lord willing, well, it's about that time, man. And again, Lord willing, it's just sooner than soon, because prophecy is a hot topic right now. All right. And while everyone is getting caught up, all right, and the water to you, how about Shema Shai for giving us out in leadership, because again, while everyone else is getting caught up, our apostles and elders, they've been speaking on these things, all right, in a time period where these things seemed impossible, so getting into it, I'm gonna go ahead and play some of this video. All right, because I'm gonna go ahead and start with this in Ecclesiastes. I'm gonna make a quick point. I'll play this video, then I'm gonna come back to this precept, but I want to make a quick point in Ecclesiastes 12:3. In the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those that look out of the windows be darkened. All right, so that's the point. All right, where it just said those that look out the windows be darkened, because America's future, all right, it's not bright, but that's okay, because like I said in the beginning of the verse, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble. All right, because again, the fact that America's future is not bright whatsoever, it doesn't look good at all, but that's okay, because what's bad news to these people is good news for us. All right. And even though, shit is about to hit the fan out here, there's about to be a lot of chaos. Lord willing, we're going to go through some of the precepts, because as I always say, once it gets to a point where, and more we're already feeling it, all right, but once it really gets to a point where it's just impossible to live, all right, when everything is hyperinflated, and not only that, everything in the store, or the store shelves are going to be empty, bare. I always say, man, people, they're going to go about it the ski mask way, if you know what I mean. But before I ramble on, I'm going to go ahead and play some of this video.
We better brace for impact, folks. This is about to get very ugly. I'm talking worries of $300 per barrel of oil this afternoon. I'm going to show you the warning signs coming from the highest levels in just a few moments. This is not hyperbole. We are watching a pivotal moment in world history unfolding right before our eyes. If you're an investor, you need to pay attention to the massive energy crisis that is about to hit Western countries. And by the way, the energy piece of this is just a part of the problem, because the rest of it is all of our fault. When I say our fault, I mean the Biden administration's fault for doing a few of the dumbest things possible, completely emptying our strategic oil reserves, banning any sort of drilling in Alaska when we need it most, pushing Saudi Arabia into the warm embrace of Vladimir Putin and China. We'll have more on that piece in a moment. But first, something shocking happened this week that has only happened twice before in history. This is what happened. The VIX was up 15%, gold up 3%, crude oil up 5% on the very same day. Now, just so you understand, gold never jumps up that much, usually at most maybe 0.5% or so, but 3% is astonishing. And then we learn that governments and sovereign wealth fund managers basically admitted it's about to get really bad out there. So they're buying up a ton of gold, getting their hands on as much gold as they possibly can right now. These guys manage the world's money, $1 trillion in money, and they're gobbling up gold. And then the VIX was up 15%. Of course, the VIX is the volatility index. It measures the likelihood that shit is about to hit the fan. So you might be saying, well, what's the big deal? Well, the other times that this has happened, just after the collapse of the economy in 2008, when Wall Street collapsed and millions of Americans lost their jobs and their homes, the markets reopened that Monday after the Lehman Brothers collapse, and whoa boy.
Let's talk about the speed with which we are watching this market deteriorate. We're red everywhere, essentially, down by 5%. We're down over 16%. Dow at the same time has fallen about 18%. The stock market is now down 21%.
You know the rest of the story there. The other time it happened is on September 17th, 2001, just after the 9/11 attacks.
The big story of the day that's developing right now here in New York City, a plane has crashed into one of the twin towers of the World Trade Center. You can see it now on the screen right there.
The markets reopened a few days later, and whoa boy, it was devastating. And the third time it happened was this week, following the outbreak of the war in Israel. Everyone picking sides ahead of a massive coming World War III. Of course, a major piece of this is our dependence on OPEC and the Middle Eastern oil and Russian commodities to keep our economy flowing. We're going to look back on this in history classes as the greatest mistake of this generation. How could you not see this coming? The U.S. is actively picking fights with Russia and China simultaneously, while at the same time sending carrier battle groups to Israel. What did you think was going to happen? Ukraine is now destroyed, thanks to NATO's meddling. Saudi Arabia says this week, sorry, we're really not interested in peace talks anymore with Israel after their devastation in Gaza. Joe Biden, you're going to send billions more to Israel? Well, then here's a big middle finger to you. Hi, Mr. Putin. We'd like to take our relationship to the next level. What do you've got open? Well, we'd like to ramp up trade with Russia. We'd like to keep oil prices low so China can get access to our oil. Well, we're going to be charging the United States higher prices. We're going to be charging Europe.
I'm going to get this real quick in Obadiah chapter 1. Because as we know, or as we should know, Saudi Arabia being one of America's biggest allies, and the fact that they're doing away, with America, and they're siding with the BRICS now. Well, like you just explained it, right? Which again, this is supposed to come online because Saudi Arabia is a part of BRICS now, and it's supposed to come online come January, right? Which that's the point of again why, hey, possibly we're gonna start seeing $300 for a barrel of oil, man. And then $300 a barrel for oil, hey man, that's, man, you see people think it's bad now. It's hard now, things are expensive now. Well, $300 a barrel for oil, listen, the ski mask way, right? Obadiah chapter 1 verse 7. All the men of thy confederacy have brought thee even to the border. The men that were at peace with thee have deceived thee and prevailed against thee, that they eat thy bread. They that eat thy bread have laid a wound on thee. There is none understanding in him. So the point is being that all of America's allies, all right, more and more, they're going to turn their back on America. And Saudi Arabia being one of the biggest allies to America. Well, now they're siding with the BRICS. All right, joining with the BRICS, which is going to cause this $300 a barrel per oil. All right, or $300 per barrel of oil.
Higher prices. That's what Saudi Arabia did this week. Just so you understand what's coming, Americans are about to face a devastating energy crisis. Surging prices for oil means the cost of everything goes up. The United States consumes 20 million barrels of oil per day. Wrap your heads around that for a second. When crude oil goes up a slight percentage, the cost of everything goes up. All of the logistics to carry items, food, services, goods throughout the United States gets more expensive. People lose their jobs. People pay more for everyday items. Price of agriculture, the price of everything goes up. It creates inflation. Obviously, it hurts everyone. It hurts the consumer, discretionary income. It hurts employers because they can't hire. They need to freeze hiring or maybe even fire people.
Going back to Ecclesiastes, because everything runs off that oil, man. The whole economy runs off that oil, from the trains to the trucks, from travel, everything. All right. So with that being said, in order to make up for these high prices, hey, like you mentioned, for one, jobs have to cut back. All right. They have to fire people. basically they have to take it out on the consumer. All right, us, to compensate for the losses, which is just going to further, bring down the society. Back in Ecclesiastes 12 and verse 3 again, in the day when the keepers of the house shall tremble, and the strong men shall bow themselves, and the grinders cease, because they are few. So more and more people are going to have to cut back on jobs. People are losing their jobs. All right. Again, it's just more fuel to the fire, so to say. All right. This just adds on to the collapse of the society.
It hurts margins, so it hurts Wall Street. And Wall Street, of course, is one half of the economy. The other half is the mom and pop businesses, which are also crushed under this weight. In a word, it's devastating. The head of Morgan Stanley just admitted this morning that thanks to this world war that's coming, there's, quote, no obvious path from here. Think about what he's saying. If Israel launches this massive invasion of Gaza, which they're about to do at any moment, and by the time you're seeing this on this Monday, they may have already done that. There was some rain over the weekend that delayed it, but if Israel invades Gaza, Iran just said they will get into this war against Israel. The United States just sent a second carrier group to Israel to protect them. So if Iran closes the Strait of Hormuz, it is game over. We are talking $300 for a barrel of oil if you can even find it. After the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipeline, Europe has been heavily relying on natural gas deliveries that come from the Straits of Hormuz. The United States had a chance to expand drilling and oil production, but the Biden administration just caved to environmentalists. Just look at Alaska, where they've been wanting to start drilling, but said, nope, can't do it anymore. Biden lawyers banning it from happening. This is a disaster of our own making. The next 48 hours are going to be critical for the next 5 years of our lives. That's the news update part of today's video.
Yeah, it was, with the closing down of these pipelines and the sabotages of these pipelines and whatnot, the natural gas, because, hey, it's all orchestrated, man. It's a controlled chaos. It's a controlled demolition, But nevertheless, $300 per barrel of oil, man. That's the point. All right. With that being said, man, again, people think it's tight now, which it is, for the most part. The majority of us are already feeling the squeeze and whatnot, but you don't see brothers over here, crying about it and whatnot, because we know somehow, some way, the Lord's going to provide for His men. All right, He's going to take care of His elect. All right. Yeah, this shit is about to suck, but the Lord's going to take care of us, But for these people, man, they're on their own. All right, and they're going to get it caught up. Matter of fact, I want to get 2nd Esdras 6, but since I'm here in 2nd Esdras, I'm going to get chapter 5. 2nd Esdras 5 and 1. Nevertheless, matter of fact, Slakia, because this might actually be the chapter that I want. Bear with me. So 2nd Esdras chapter 5 and verse 1. It says, nevertheless, as coming the tokens, behold, the day shall come that they which dwell upon earth shall be taken in a great number, and the way of truth shall be hidden, and the land shall be barren of faith. All right. The point being that, a lot of people are about to get swept away, man. There are a lot of people about to be taken, because as I've been mentioning throughout the week, because again, the fact that the Lord is moving everything into place, right? With all these supposedly, these middle-aged men basically infiltrating Babylon. You got a lot of these sleeper cells, all right, and whatnot. And the fact that, again, this BRICS thing is supposed to come online come January, but again, just speaking as a man, I don't know for sure. I think that something could happen. Something could happen between now and then to where all hell's already breaking loose. Because this is going to be the new normal, all right? Death, that's going to be the new normal, all right? People dying in waves, man, because you got a couple of people down over here, a couple of dozens over here. It's going to go from that to a few hundred over here, a couple of hundred over there. It's going to go from that to thousands over here, hundreds of thousands over there. People are going to start dying by the droves, man. They're going to be dying, but people are going to be dying by the waves out here. And again, that's going to be the new normal. All right. So whatever happens, when it does happen, again, and I think that it can happen within the next few months, weeks, months, something could take place. They already have those foreign troops here, and come this January 1st, when this BRICS is supposed to come online, all hell's already going to be breaking loose. People are going to be running around, searching for answers, searching for comforts. And, well, Esau, however it plays out, man, he's going to present that solution, that MOTB. And again, like I just said in 2nd Edges 501, a great number shall be taken, man. A lot of people are going to be taken by a great number, man. Because real soon, we're going to see people, Lord willing, sooner than soon, line up by the masses to take that MOTB. All right? People are going to be lining up in the masses to take that MOTB. Right? You see, man? Because, again, with $300 a barrel, again, that's why I'm going to look for this real quick. It's either here or in 2nd Esdras, the 6th chapter. So just bear with me. Because, again, man, people ransacking these stores, and, man, you thought people were killing each other over some chicken sandwiches and some toilet paper was bad. You just wait. All right, we're really about to see these people go at it. They're gonna be at each other's throats, man, eating each other's necks. Pun intended. Right? So I'm gonna get this 2nd Esdras 6. 2nd Esdras 6 and 22. Starting at 22. And suddenly, and you see, I was talking about that sudden destruction. All right, the Lord emphasizes his sudden destruction, man. Because in a moment, all right, things are just going to be different. All right, in a moment, one day we're just going to wake up and it's just the environment is going to be different. The environment, things are going to be different, man. Everything's going to change. Life as we know it is about to change. All right, and it's going to change suddenly. All right, all of a sudden, that's why I told you, as a matter of fact, I'm going to jump back to 2nd Esdras 5 real quick. Because a lot of this is going to be taking place. And I'm going to just hit the point in 2nd Esdras 5 and 8. It says, there shall be a confusion also in many places. So that's the point. All right, that's the point right there. Confusion. Because, hey, again, we're going to wake up and this is going to be different. Like, damn, we were just partying. We were just hitting the club last night. And, it's like, what happened? It's going to be a lot of confusion. People are running around with this chicken, like a chicken with its head cut off. And that's why, like I read in 2nd Esdras 5 and 1, all right, people are going to be taken by a great number. These people, man, they got it. It's going to hit them like a shit ton of bricks. All right? Because for one, these people think they can't be touched. All right? They think that this, that'll never happen, right? They had this normancy bias spirit, Well, okay, the Lord wants them to think that. He wants them to have that mindset. Versus us, Lord want to wear that number, man. We're prepared, you know. We're prepared. We're suspecting it, you know. And like he mentioned in the beginning of this video, a brace for impact. And I used this example before about how, hey, in a fight, typically, oftentimes the punch that knocks you out is oftentimes the punch that you don't see. Well, we see the punch coming. Now, all you can do is brace for it, but nevertheless, it's not going to catch you by surprise and knock you out. It's still going to hurt. You're still going to, feel it, because that is, again, the thing with the hopefully leg. We're still going to be here. We're still going to feel it. It's not like we're not going to be impacted. All right. But we're not going to get caught slipping. We're not going to get caught off guard. All right. So back in 2 Ezra 6 and 22 again. Because more and more, well, let's just read this again. 2 Ezra 6 and 22. And suddenly shall the sown places appear unsown. The full storehouses shall suddenly be found empty. All right. All those movie scenes, and you might have got Jake, man, y'all always talk about the movies, and, well, listen, art imitates life. And hell, even these top wicked elites, they know what's coming. All right. They know what's coming, and they put it out there, I believe really to, the Lord had it, because a lot of these movies and whatnot, man, they're pretty damn, it gives us a visual, somewhat of a visual of what to expect to see, to give us a certain mind frame, all right, of how things are going to be. Because on one note, a lot of these movies where they depict some type of a crisis, might be in a zombie outbreak or whatever. And what takes place? People looting the stores, ransacking the stores, right? Ransacking the pharmacies for medicines and stuff like that. Because again, one day it's just going to be, something's going to take place, and it's just going to be different. Like I said, the shelves are going to be empty. But not only that, hey, hyperinflation, super hyperinflation, as I like to say, because $300 a barrel, man, listen, that's super hyperinflation, all right. But it says, and the trumpet shall give a sound, which when every man heareth, they shall suddenly be afraid. And however that plays out, man, because hey, the Lord is sounding the alarm now through his men, through the prophets. All right. The Lord is sounding that alarm now. Well, to these people, again, however it plays out, you just got to let our imagination run rampant, got to get creative. All right. Because, hey, you might get that text alert. All right. That emergency broadcast on all TVs, radios, all devices. Hey, martial law being officially declared. Boom. Go to your nearest C-HIP station. Boom. However it plays out. And people are going to be, again, in a state of, what the hell is this? What's going on? But hell, those of us, Lord willing, hey, it's going to be like, man, about time, like, here we go. This is it. Right? But verse 24, it says, at that time shall friends fight one against another like enemies. And why is that? Because everything's going to be unaffordable, man. Again, it's hard now. People think it's hard now. It's tough now. We're dealing with this inflation now. But what are you going to do when a gallon of milk is $150? Hell, $1,000, man. What are you going to do then? A loaf of bread, $600 for a loaf of bread. It's going to get wild out here, man. And friends are going to turn foes. All right, neighbor against neighbor. again, like I said, with all pun intended, these people, they're going to be at each other's throats, literally in each other's throats. You know, it's going to get so bad out here, cannibalism, you know. It got so bad at the siege of Jerusalem, man, that, hey, they were eating the leather off their sandals, man. You know, that's how bad it got. Well, how much more now? You know, it says, and the earth shall stand in fear with those that dwell therein. The springs of the fountains shall stand still, and in 3 hours they shall not run. So that was the point. All right, France fighting one against another like enemies. You know, because hey, these people, man, quite frankly, man, they're watching. You know, and I think it's cold because, you know, how the Lord is setting these people up. Because there was all these reports. What was that, last year? I think it was. In different places, especially places like California, where, you know, you had a lot of these, you had a lot of people, man. You know, especially when it came to women. You know, a lot of women were getting targeted. A lot of women, they were getting targeted. As soon as they come out the grocery stores, you know, or a lot of women, they were being followed to their homes, you know, to get robbed for their groceries. You know, this was a thing, and it probably still is. They just don't report on it. But, you know, hey, nevertheless, people are watching. And that's why I said I think it's cold how the Lord is setting these people up, because it's just a matter of time, man, before the Lord gives these spirits. That's why we got to be careful, because these people, man, they've got demons on them, man, and it's just a matter of time before the Lord gives the green light. It's just a matter of time before the Lord gives the green light, man. So when this shit when it all comes together beautifully like an orchestra, you know, hey, you know, it's going to get wild out here, man. But this is what's in the talks as of right now. You know, $300 per barrel of oil, man. That's again, you talk about hyperinflation, man. That's going to be super duper hyperinflation, man. You know, but Lord wanted us to edify, and all praises to Yahweh Shemel Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully elect.